Hey everybody, welcome back to Tabletop Syndicate. We are coming to you today to introduce and do a bracket review for our DC Keyword Draft Tournament.
It's finally here.
I've been waiting so long.
Yeah, I got done with the Marvel one, and of course, got to do a DC.
Yeah, because I was kind of dying inside, but no, I miss DC so much now after all that. But it was fun for me to do some Marvel, but here we go with some DC. So we did our draft. We drafted our keywords.
Yep.
So
it was 12 teams, right?
Yes.
Yes. So 12 teams, drafted them up, and now we threw them in a bracket.
We each drafted our keywords, and then we took those keywords and built our teams with them. So a mixture of, I want to not just get blown out of this tournament, but also I want to have some teams that are just for fun.
Yes.
Try some different pieces. Another aspect of that, though, is, well, so after we built our teams, we seeded them the best we could, our own teams, and before we threw them in this bracket. But one aspect of having trouble with that is we haven't seen a lot of these pieces under the new rules.
Exactly. And new rules make some pieces a lot stronger, and then other pieces they got weaker.
So there could be some crazy finds in this in either direction.
Yeah.
Hopefully more crazy. Holy cow, this character's so much more awesome.
Those are
now.
more fun to discover versus like, oh wow, that piece actually is not
It's
as
useless now.
Yeah. That is not as fun to discover at all.
So go ahead and let's hear about the first branch of the bracket.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
all right, so again, 12 teams. Our number ones.
We seeded our top six.
So number 1 seed, number 4, number 2 seeds. Number 1 through 4. Sorry. 1 through 4 all got buys.
Yes.
Okay. So 1 through 4 got buys. And so on the left side of the bracket, where my number 1 seed is, which my number 1 seed is Apocalypse, we have the first matchup at the very top of the bracket is Shadow Pack versus JSA. Shadow Pack is one of those kind of weird keywords that I don't play often, but it has some fun mechanics, especially with one of the pieces on there that I've got to play before that could be super annoying to play against. And
Good. That's what I always love to hear.
yeah, super annoying to play against. I don't imagine that it'll be like insanely powerful, but because it is annoying to play against, there is the potential to cause upsets. Just because if you can cause enough annoyance, meaning you limit what your opponent can do to you, or you make it really difficult to reach certain pieces on your team or kill certain pieces, then you always increase your odds of pulling upsets. But I think that's like maybe one upset if I'm lucky, and then after that, probably won't.
So my GSA team, I think you'll be a little surprised. There's probably a piece on there that you're not remembering or expecting.
Okay.
And I think one of the pieces that you definitely remember from that won't be there.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting for you to see
Hopefully
that.
it's one of the pieces that I don't like.
But it is.
Okay,
I'm
good.
pretty sure. But it is a fun team. I mean, when we were kind of more early into this, that's one of the keywords I really loved a lot. I played a lot more.
Absolutely.
I haven't gone to it as much lately. I might have burned myself out a little bit.
It's been a while.
So I need to get back to it. But
That'll hopefully be close, but you never know.
I don't know what to expect. Shadow Pack, you said it's annoying. GSA, I don't know how powerful it is, but it'll be fun. So it could go either way moving into Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, and obviously if it'll be my number 1 seed, I'm really hoping that it'll be dominant. And so whichever team wins, I hope I crush it. But hey,
I'm terrified of that Apocalypse team. I think it might win the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
It's scary,
but we'll see. And so then that leads us into number 2. What's that one?
So now underneath there, the next branch of that same side of the bracket, it'd be playing into my 4 seed, which my 4 seed is Project Cadmus.
Right.
So that team, I think, will be a lot of fun. I think it'll be fairly powerful, but more fun.
Okay.
That's one reason it's my 4. It's playing into your 1, of course. So that's great. I'm not expecting it to make it to the finals.
Right.
But playing into Project Cadmus is going to be Squints' number 6 Black Lantern Corps.
Right.
Versus my Star Labs.
Yeah, so that being obviously one of my seeds playing against one of your unranked teams.
Yeah.
But with it being my 6th seed, either A, I did what you think I did, which is fair, that I undervalued the Black Lantern Corps. You thought it was going to be a lot higher, which
Yes.
especially with what you've done with Black Lanterns in the past to me, I can see why.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to overestimate it, but maybe I underestimated it too much. And so, playing against a playing against an unseeded team, maybe it'll end up dominating. But at the same time,
especially probably the one it's matched up against.
so Star Labs, I know a few of the Star Labs pieces, but I don't know what really to expect there. And so, like, unfortunately,
the most fun will be you being surprised by what you're playing against.
unfortunately, it does look like one of those matchups that could be a complete slaughter. But
a team that's potentially could probably even a 2 seed in the tournament
is a number 6 seed.
Is going against my Star Labs, who's probably the worst team in the tournament. Maybe.
Yeah. And so hopefully I didn't undervalue Black Lanterns too much. I mean, I think you'll be a little surprised, and maybe you'll understand, maybe that's why he didn't see it super high.
We'll see.
There's definitely a piece on there that like you're expecting, but
there's one I know, and that's one of the reasons I think you underestimated it.
Okay, fair.
But you also don't play those kind of pieces well usually. So
true. Yes,
we'll
which is
see.
crazy. Our different mechanics. Sometimes we play pieces.
We have very different styles.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, that is the top side of the bracket.
So that's where his 1 seeded and my 4 seed are setting.
All right. So dropping to the bottom side now on the left.
Moving to the bottom left side is my 2 seed is Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, which is not surprising.
So if your Black Lantern Corps pulls super crazy upsets, we could meet up in the semis.
Be black versus green.
Yeah. Doubtful that'll happen, but. Playing into my 2 seed is my Crime Syndicate of America team versus the Fatal 5.
Yeah, so it's 2 unseeded teams, just like we saw on the top side of the bracket. Hopefully will be a fun matchup where we get to play some pieces that we don't always play and that are just fun, but could, in the right circumstances, be pretty powerful. Yeah. And you and I have already seen Fatal 5 be pretty strong.
Yeah.
There was a few times that I played it wrong.
Yeah. Why don't you just say cheated? No.
I cheated, yeah, a little bit. But the CSA I've seen be stronger than I ever anticipated. And the matchup I'm thinking about was on like a ship. And I just was not anticipating it being that strong.
Really?
That's the game that always jumps out at me.
Huh.
But hopefully this will be a good matchup. The problem, I think,
do you remember who they were playing against?
I don't, to be honest. Okay. I just have like a vision of what the map looks like.
Yeah.
But my Fatal 5 team is pretty limited in that I think it only has 3 characters. And I'm assuming CSA might have more than that, but we'll see.
Yes, they do. So CSA is another one, just like JSA, that I really liked a lot more. A little earlier on, I haven't played them in a while.
It has been a long time. I think it's been longer since JSA.
Probably. And I really like it a lot. It's one of those, there's enough pieces that the teams could be varied, but at the same time, there's like set members. So it's Justice League from another Earth, essentially. So there's a different version of Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash. The Atom is actually a female. Batman, obviously. So some of those kind of pieces, and there's a couple others, but it's just kind of fun. This alternate kind of bad guy version of the Justice League,
which is why it's strong.
It's got the utility and synergize as well. So we'll see.
No, I think it'll be a fun matchup, and I think that it'll be.
But what sucks is if it is really good or strong, it's playing into my 2 seeds.
Right. I don't think it'll be too strong. I think it's just a good, fun team to play.
It is.
And so hopefully that'll be a fun matchup. And then that drops us to our next, which is Batman Family, which is Joker Prime's 5th seed, versus my unseeded Dark Knights, which will be whoever wins that plays into my number 3 seed, Legion of Doom. So my Dark Knights is one of those other teams that could have potentially been seeded, but you and I have seen that Dark Knights could potentially be limited.
Yeah. This matchup is not great for them either.
No. Yeah. So like it looks like there's gonna be a lot of outwit on that
Most
team.
likely.
And especially since Dark Knights, I'm pretty sure I was only able to get 3 pieces, which is pretty common for Dark Knights because they're super costly.
Well, and Squints has this just internal complete opposition to playing them on not top dials.
It's hard for me to play pieces on their lower dials unless, it has to be the right circumstances. But Dark Knights, it's got some cool character traits that could be really annoying to contend with, but because they're so costly, you only get so many of them, and if you find ways to negate one of those pieces, you just took out like half a team.
Right.
And so,
my Batman family is my 5 seed, so it's not the traditional Batman family Squints is used to see me play, because that keyword has the potential to be very powerful. I probably could have found a way to make that my 1 seed. There's just so much to choose from.
You dug deep, I bet you could have.
It's a huge keyword, and it has been in the past. Like in some of our old tournaments before we started recording and things, it's been just in the finals several times and stuff.
I mean, it's that, honestly, in my opinion, is the outwit that's prevalent in that keyword.
I tried to build something a little different this time, so it's not completely what Squints is used to me playing in that keyword. So that's how it ended up as my 5 seed. It'll be fun. There's some strong pieces, but I mean, I think I can beat Dark Knights. Dark Knights is scary and it can be really strong, but as he mentioned, if I can get the right outwit, if you can knock them off like their top click, of course, being at their very top, it's even harder. If they're at their lower one, then like one hit makes them not nearly as much.
Almost,
so that'll be a tight match. I think it'll be a good one though, but I don't have much faith in beating the Legion of Doom there and pulling that upset, but I could be wrong too. Cause
I honestly, I think that which it probably will, but who knows? I think Batman family will win there. I think that the Batman family versus Legion of Doom will end up being a really close game.
Hopefully it's a close match. I don't know if it'll pull it out, but we'll find out.
Absolutely. So that's the left side of the bracket, and now let's move on over to the right side.
The top right?
Let's go with bottom.
Oh, okay.
So we went top to bottom, now let's go bottom to top.
Okay, fine.
And save number 1 seed for last.
Oh, okay. So the very bottom right side of the bracket, my 3 seed is Atlantis.
Yeah.
So
they get to play the winner of...
first of all, my Atlantis team could be very nasty.
Oh, yeah. I've played against it before.
There's some ways...
Similar team that you've built.
Yeah. There's some ways to make that kind of nasty and fun, and basically some swimmers and stuff.
But give some love to swimmers that never get any love.
Yeah.
The swim ability, normally it's like, who cares?
Right. And just kind of some Aquaman storyline type people that are just never really... They should make a big time Aquaman set or something. I don't know. But it'll be fun. And so playing into my 3 seed, Squints' number 5 is Teen Titans.
Yep.
Going against my Justice League Dark.
Yeah, so I mean, again, just like we saw on the other side of the bracket, a 3 versus a 5 could be really good, but that's if my Teen Titans gets past Justice League Dark, which could be, I mean, any Justice League team, I feel like that you could build really strong, and so I'm a little worried, but Teen Titans can be. I thought about making Teen Titans a little bit higher in my seed, but. Because
that's great to hear.
It could be potentially pretty strong, but I also recognize there are some limitations that made me bump it down to the 5th seed.
So what he's basically saying is that team's going to the semis. I wish my Justice League Dark would have drawn into almost any other not top 4 team of yours, because that's one I'm excited about, and that's one I got more for fun. And I'd like to be able to pull off a first round win, and I don't know if this matchup is gonna be possible.
I'm interested to see what you put on that team, but I think that I don't know. I think it'll be close.
Yeah.
Just the Teen Titan teams you and I have both seen be pretty strong.
Yeah, I'm scared for that. I mean, Justice League Dark is fairly set in who's on it, but with points, I didn't fill it with every possible choice. So there's a few people you may expect that won't be there. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. I maybe can pull up the upset here, which would be cool, but I don't think it'd beat my Atlantis team.
Yeah, the Atlantis team with the right map, and even without the right map, because of what you could potentially do with some of the character traits and special powers that you have on that team. Yeah, could end up. Yeah, it's an annoying team to play against, but it's also really cool at the same time.
Yeah.
So moving up, we have 2 unseeded teams playing against each other, which is nice. The Secret Society of Supervillains, which is my unseeded team, versus your unseeded Injustice League.
Yes.
which are almost identical keywords.
Probably a lot of crossover.
Yeah, a lot of crossover pieces.
At least with
not pieces,
potential.
but characters.
Yeah.
Characters.
At least a lot of crossover potential. I don't know if our teams will actually be very similar, but
Right. And so it's kind of funny that they ended up drawing each other in the bracket. So whoever wins that, like, it's almost gonna be potentially similar to the team that loses.
Yeah.
So it's like whoever gets to play their team better and rolls.
Did you mention who they have if they win?
And whoever wins that gets to play into my number 2 Secret Six. Which Secret Six, there's a little bit of crossover with, because it's a villain team, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. There's a little crossover there.
A little bit, not as much. Secret Six, there's more crossover with like Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad big time.
Which is why I was happy they were not right next to each other in the bracket. They're close, but not. I mean, they have to make some pretty big wins.
It'd have to be really crazy.
Yeah.
Really, really crazy.
So Secret Six, I think, has a lot of potential, which is why obviously it's my number 2
Secret
seed.
Six can be very dirty, and again, it had some like underestimated potential before. With some of the new rules we haven't even seen yet, it could be even worse.
I think one of the biggest ones, which I don't want to ruin too much, but it's not that big of a deal. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Secret Six had a massive lack of willpower.
Really? I don't remember.
We don't have to worry about that.
One thing that hurts them, well, it doesn't hurt them, but it's just that benefited them a lot before was improved movement through hindering, and that's gone. And that kind of is one reason I'm worried I might have overestimated Atlantis.
Right.
Because last time I played them, if you didn't have improved movement through hindering, the water really hosed you. Maybe, and so...
But I mean, that would be fun to see if that made an impact. But at Secret Six, probably the biggest thing for me is the fact that they have a character trait that if you build exactly 6 characters on the team, then you get +1 to your combat values.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like, +1 to your speed, to your attack, to your defense, to your damage, to your range. Now you have to keep all 6 pieces. If you lose one of them, you lose that. But
and you just love somehow getting all your combat values +1. Just boom.
Okay, Warlight, get out of my face.
What do you mean? Look at freaking Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo +1 to attack, not to all combat.
And
values.
Sidestep's
amazing.
The Secret Six. I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting.
But it is strong. Like, whenever you get the modifiers to just for basically nothing, then it's strong. No, what I mean is you get the modifier for.
Well, I know.
I mean, it's just built.
You get a modifier for nothing to everything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's why it's my number 2, and I hope it can go pretty far. Obviously. Yeah. So all right.
Go ahead and tell us the next one.
So next one we got the Justice League, which is my number 4 seed. It's my favorite part of DC.
Moving up to the last branch.
That's
top
right. That's right. We're getting closer to the end here. Justice League is my favorite keyword from DC because I'm super basic.
Yeah.
But there are some fun stuff that I also like Fatal 5 that not a lot of people have heard of. But and I do like some of the villains, and DC's known a little bit more for villains. But I love the OG Justice League. I grew up with the cartoon, which is not the OGs, but I did read a few comics, and I like the original characters. One of the characters I feel like doesn't get enough love usually is Martian Manhunter, and
used to.
Well, yeah, and so I'm hoping that I can play him well.
Clicks.
No, just
in general.
In general, like in pop culture and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I would love to see a Martian Manhunter movie.
You know who I think? I mean, in clicks at least, is Aquaman.
Yeah, he is.
I wish there was an Aquaman that was just like my guy.
Yeah, you know you can go to him every time.
Because I have a billion Batmans I love, a billion Wonder Womans I love, a billion Supermans I love, a billion Green Lanterns I love, a billion Flashes I love.
See, so many awesome pieces in the Justice League.
Pretty much every Martian Manhunter I love that they've come out with for us recently.
Right.
But Aquaman, it's like, I guess I'll use this one.
Right.
You know, and scope-wise, too.
Yeah, Rebirth has been my favorite Aquaman.
Like, Namor sucks. And they've made a bunch more of him with such cool sculpts.
Way better sculpts than Aquaman.
Aquaman's like, I know the one, it was from the cartoon or whatever, but he's like Captain Hook.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
Like, Come on, give me a good, awesome Aquaman.
I do like the Rebirth Aquaman.
No, I mean he's for Aquaman, yeah, but in general, you're not going to him.
Probably not.
You're not like, I want to build up with this guy.
No, not really. But anyway, so that is
my rant.
That's my Justice League team. It is number 4. And it's going to play the winner of Suicide Squad, which is an unseeded team of mine, versus Sinestro Corps, which is Joker Prime's number 6.
Funny thing is, I just now recognized
What?
my 6th seed is Sinestro Corps and yours is Black Lantern Corps.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so we probably both underestimated those cores.
No, I really think that. So, I've played a lot of Lanterns.
Yeah.
And in my mind, without thinking too hard, I'd say that Green Lantern and then Black Lantern are in that order. And Sinestro has more potential, but what I wanted to build with, and also, I think it was 303v3 that White Lantern and Sinestro I played and got exposed. They're so old now that without the batteries and stuff, their combat values drop hard, fast. And some of these new pieces, they already don't even start for more points with high enough attack and defenses to contend at times.
True. That is true.
So that's my concern, is like that their combat values will drop quick, or they're not worth the value.
Yeah, these not Green Lantern, but these Lantern teams possibly are going to be not as strong as we think because they're not being played with the batteries, with the exception of the ones that got see like Green Lantern. Probably don't need the battery.
Green Lantern is by far, I think, the one that can be the strongest without it. I think Black Lantern is obviously far stronger with it, but I think still can be very strong without.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. Is when it comes to DC, I expect at this point that there's going to be a Lantern team deep in the tournament because they're just so strong.
But a lot of those older ones, we had the batteries too.
Yes. And they were playing against teams that didn't have any resources, which is unfortunate for those teams. But they have to beat my number 4 team, which may not be easy, but
Sinestro?
it's possible.
Oh yeah, if they beat Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's a number 4 or something. Yeah, Suicide Squad could pull an upset.
Suicide Squad could upset Sinestro Corps.
Absolutely, it's a possibility.
Because I know there's potential with Suicide Squad. That's one of my favorite keywords
Absolutely, too. Yeah. I didn't have confidence in because again our mechanics are different, and I didn't feel like I could play them well enough.
You also got Suicide Squad and Secret Six, so
yeah. My Secret Six, I'm way more
little
excited
bit
about,
little bit of branching and making decisions there.
Exactly. But the last matchup, I guess.
And I forgot I need to fix this still.
Oh yeah, but who would that be?
I've messed this up.
Well, first of all, top side, who is that?
My number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed, not surprising.
Kryptonian.
Yeah, not surprising at all.
Yeah,
I'm hopeful that there's a piece on there that I don't have to see, but
I was very nice to Squints in this tournament. I think I was much nicer to him than he was to me, and I'm regretting it a lot. To be able to contend in this tournament probably is what I needed to do, but we'll see. We'll see. I may have overestimated Kryptonians, just because of the way I built them, and I wanted to do something different that he wasn't ready for. Throw him a curveball. So I built it differently. The piece that he's referring to is Superman Prime. If, he's played it a few times, but if you want to know the bulk of his pain, you can go watch our 303v3 tournament. It is all there for you to view. Yes. And that is all you really need to see to understand his pain, especially if you're not very familiar with Superman Prime. Basically, he's got hypersonic, he can heal, he can prob and outwit twice in one turn if he's got action tokens, or 2 of them, and colossal stamina, and just a lot.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
With high combat values and probably like a 9 range. And so I was nice. I was very nice in this one.
Because I could have been.
And but playing into that is his White Lantern Corps
versus
my Gotham Underworld, my Gotham City Underworld.
Yeah, 2 unseeded teams, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that my Gotham Underworld ended up here as well, because even if they do beat White Lantern Corps, which I feel like, as I just mentioned, they have a good possibility of doing that, just from my bad experience with them in the 300 3v3 tournament. Spoiler alert. But if they do, then I'm facing my 1 seed, which they will not overcome. And that's one of my favorite keywords in this as well.
Yeah.
I've probably said that about half the teams now, but I love my DC. I love my Batman stuff, and mostly because of the villain side of it.
Right.
So my Jokers and Riddlers and everything's. I still don't have any good Banes. You've got all the good Banes.
I do. There's been some pretty good Banes. The one from Joker's Wild is actually pretty awesome.
I need to acquire some more Banes, but Undercover Bane that I really like is way back from the Dark Knight Rises or something.
Oh, like
the
the
old
Batman feed?
movie. It was
Okay.
like a Fast Force, I think.
Okay.
And I can't remember, but he has a big gnarly potential to make a big hit, something like that. I think.
Oh, as if like
you remember that?
You pulled that off that one time,
And
that
it was
rough.
disgusting.
It was like if
I
you were
can't
holding
remember
a
off the-
heavy object, or if your opponent's holding a heavy object, you can like use a Blaze Claw's Fangs or something.
It was something crazy,
Flurry,
ridiculous.
Blaze Claws.
It was a massive hit, and that was so satisfying. But so my Gotham City Underworld, if they do overcome the White Lantern Corps, which is funny because they're going to be playing against Batman.
Yeah, that's true.
Guaranteed. That better be on the team.
Oh, it's on the team.
That's
The
disgraceful.
White Lantern Batman,
One of
probably the best sculpts in Heroclix. So
Gorgeous. So you'll get to see that, but playing into my Kryptonians. So I don't know. We'll see.
absolutely, this will be fun. Make sure to check out. We'll be playing through these first rounds, and then we'll do another bracket review.
Yeah, we'll do a bracket review in between every round. And again, if you didn't watch the draft and you're interested in that, we've got that up. We discuss it. You see our picks. And then we're also going to be playing through this whole thing, so you'll be able to see all these matchups.
Absolutely. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think.
Until next time, see ya.